the Naihe Bridge might really exist. Brothers, today's story comes from an anonymous netizen. 10 years ago, a newly graduated girl was recruited by the netizen's company. After working for a few days, she had a car accident on her way to the company. The girl was taken to the hospital, and the doctors determined that she had died from brain death. What is the concept of brain death? The brain's functions have disappeared, and in this situation, removing oxygen would lead to death. Although the girl had only been at the company for a few days, she was, after all, a colleague, so a few colleagues went to the hospital to check on the situation. After arriving at the hospital and hearing what the girl's parents said, they also felt quite upset. Once the oxygen was removed, the person would be gone, and not removing it meant money was spent like water. But after raising their daughter for so many years, the parents disagreed with removing the oxygen, hoping for an improvement. Upon hearing this situation, the netizen left some money and left. About a month later, the netizen and colleagues from the company talked about this matter again. Everyone was preparing to go to the hospital to discuss it. After all, she was a colleague. But this time when they arrived at the hospital, the girl's parents' attitude had clearly changed, showing some complaints. They meant that taking care of the child every day, with no income for two people, and unable to afford the expenses, they wanted to give up. At that time, the elderly couple was packing up, planning to go to the doctor to discuss giving up treatment. The netizen and a few colleagues didn't know whether to leave or not, and it was quite awkward. In the midst of the awkwardness, the girl suddenly sat up from the bed. Her first words were, "The world over there is the same as ours. The only difference is that we have electric lights here, and they hang lanterns there." The girl's sudden remark left everyone speechless, and everyone was silent, watching her quietly. You think, someone who has been lying in bed for more than a month suddenly sits up, which is also quite scary. Everyone thought that the girl had slept for too long and might have been dreaming or something. However, when everyone was at a loss, the girl said another sentence, "Mom, I went to the Naihe Bridge." At that time, when the girl's father saw his child wake up, he immediately went to find a doctor. But her mother is a rural woman, a bit superstitious, and asked her what happened. "Daughter, tell us slowly." The girl said that there was a large square over there, and many people were waiting there. There was a river next to the square, and the houses on the other side of the river were the same as ours, except that they hung lanterns at the door. She said there was a bridge over this river, and someone at the head of the bridge called out names. When your name was called, you could cross. Some people had been waiting on this square for many years before being called away. When everyone was very confused, the girl saw the netizen and his colleagues and suddenly said, "By the way, Brother John, I also met someone named Cai. When we were chatting, Cai said that he had also worked in our company." At that time, her mother and other colleagues from the company did not believe it. But the netizen was shocked because someone named Cai did indeed work in the netizen's company, and due to gambling, he ended up with his family broken and eventually committed suicide. This was mainly because this incident happened many years ago, and only old employees like the netizen knew about him. The netizen was very sure that the two people could not have any intersection in terms of age or other aspects, and the girl's parents also confirmed that they only did not know Cai and had never heard of him. Then they asked the girl how she woke up, and the girl said something even more mysterious. She said that she was waiting with a group of people for her name to be called when a man in a white suit came to the bridge. Then, the people on the bridge called her name. She went over, and the man in the white suit told her to follow him. At that time, the girl lost control and followed him to a courtyard next to the square. There was a large well in the courtyard. With one push from the man in the white suit, the girl fell into the well. When she woke up, she was lying in the hospital. After the girl woke up, she was in the same condition as a normal person. The colleagues chatted for a while and then returned to the company. Now this young girl has also become a mother and has her own child. It can only be said that the young girl was not meant to die. At first, her parents were going to give up on her, but she woke up at this critical moment. According to her description, there might really be a Naihe bridge in this world. Well, see you next story.